Hi, it's Dr. Mary Barson here for another episode of Low Carb in the Leaves, and I'm not being jiggled around driving, being driven as I was yesterday, so hopefully this one will be a little bit more steady. Okay, well, this week I'm discussing common low carb real food misconceptions, which was triggered by this wonderful lifestyle medicine conference that Dr. Lucy and I presented at Deakin University on Tuesday, and where a dietitian who is unacquainted with low carb real food and what we mean by it and what we use it for and what it actually entails made an offhand comment that she believes, in her opinion, low carb real food is unsustainable. Well, no, she said that low carb diets are unsustainable, which, was good. It triggered some lovely discussion amongst the panel, and I think we were able to clear up some of those misconceptions, which I think would have been helpful for all of the conference attendees as well. But it did get me thinking about misconceptions. And another misconception I'd like to discuss today is that you need to be perfect for it to work. We are all about people healing their metabolism naturally and healthily by eating real food. So important. And if they have a weight loss goal and metabolic disease or metabolic derangement, then to eat low carb versions of real food. This is the absolute essence of what we do and what we are about. And when I perhaps mention this to patients, for the first time, there could be this look of fear, descends across their face. The idea that they could never again eat a bread roll, never again have a piece of cake, never again eat a Hershey's chocolate bar or whatever it is. And that's definitely not it. You don't need to be absolutely perfect in order to use a low carb real food lifestyle to heal your metabolism. It is possible to have the occasional slip or lapse, either planned or unplanned, to get straight back on track and to do absolutely fine. We have a mantra, we have many at Real Life Medicine. One of our mantras is progress, not perfection. When people start out, I strongly encourage them to make a commitment, and if they slip, to recommit to living their lives without regular sugar injections and to prove to themselves that they can live their lives without regular injections of sugar. You don't need to eat large slices of cake 5 times a week in order to be happy and to function. You don't need to eat chocolate daily. You don't need to eat bread for breakfast or cereal for breakfast. You don't need these high carb foods that are no longer serving you, that are indeed making you sicker and potentially more overweight. You can live without them. So certainly at the start, there is this adjustment period where it is best if you can make a strong commitment to low carb real food. And it doesn't matter if you slip up, you just get straight back on and recommit to low carb real food, and you commit and you recommit. And you can indeed recommit with every bite. You can start eating a piece of toast, have 3 bites, and then decide on the 4th bite, no, actually, I am recommitting to low carb real food, and to chuck the rest of the toast in the compost. That is fine. And then when people get used to this way of life, when they are finding that they're enjoying the sustainable, because it is sustainable, low carb real food, when you're eating veggies, nuts, seeds, meat, fish, eggs, seafood, a little bit of low carb fruit, this healthy fats, delicious, satisfying, healthy foods without hunger, it is a very sustainable way to live. When people are enjoying the sustainable low carb real food diet and they choose to have a piece of wedding cake when they're out at a celebration, or to have a beer when they're visiting some awesome brewery in the Tasmanian mountain hinterlands, or whatever it is. Like, that could be fine. You just recommit again, and that's all right. You know, it is what we do most of the time that matters, and how much leeway people have with their own lifestyle, with their own dietary choices, completely depends. It just depends. There is no specific formula for everyone. It depends on your metabolism and your goals. So somebody, say like me, who I've got polycystic ovarian syndrome, now in remission, I've healed it with food. I'm not overly insulin resistant anymore. My blood sugars are great. Everything is pretty good. I don't have diabetes. For me, you know, having a beer at a brewery really wouldn't make much difference to my health at all. And provided I didn't have beer every day, and provided I just got back on board with low carb real food, nothing would happen. I might feel a bit cruddy. I might gain a little bit of weight. I might feel a bit bloated and yucky, but no long-term consequences. But somebody who's got really terrible type 2 diabetes, whose insulin resistance has gotten so bad that they're really unwell from it, well, them having a beer would have more significant consequences. It's not to say that they couldn't do it, but they would need to be aware and perhaps do it a lot less than perhaps I could. So it all depends on your metabolism and your goals. What are your goals? Is it your goal to continue to lose weight? Is it your goal to continue to reduce your insulin? Well, then, you know, you need to adjust your lifestyle accordingly. And there is no one formula. We all need to figure out for ourselves what works for us, what we want to do, what our goals are, and what our metabolism can cope with. And we just need to constantly make that commitment and that recommitment. But when you are committing to really yummy, delicious, satisfying, wholesome meals, when you're not forcing yourself to be hungry, you're not calorie restricting, the commitment is pretty easy. And the commitment and the recommitment is very, very doable. And please remember our mantra: we need progress, not perfection. Bye, everybody.